All right, guys, so the other day, Kamerar released a new QV-1 M viewfinder. Now, this is essentially a QV-1, similar to this guy right here. The M stands for a new plate that they're adding for mirrorless systems. So just as an example, this is a GH3 camera over here, and then this is the original QV-1. As you notice, the LCD kind of sits all the way at the bottom here, right where the camera ends. And the problem is, when you wanted this to mount, I don't know if you could see this, but there's a little bit of a gap underneath the camera here. So the problem was the base plate couldn't quite reach the camera on this QV-1 model. So there's nothing you can do about that. Some workarounds were just to add a base plate above this, and then you can kind of make some adjustments back here and make it work with a camera like the GH3. Another thing is, if you wanted to use it with something like this cage here for the GH3, the threading was not in the proper spot. You have the thread back here, and then you have a anti-twist register pin area up here. So this was designed for anti-twist, and this didn't align properly. If you tried to mount this, it would sit back way too far. So we're going to take a look at the Kamerar QV-1M. Now, this guy comes with a new base plate. This base plate will work with mirrorless systems. It won't work with a, like, say, Canon 5D Mark II. The base plate is going to add too much distance between the LCD and the base plate. I'll show you kind of what I mean as soon as we unbox this. So let's go ahead and take this apart. Here we have the viewfinder in a bag. This is the new M plate, which is a thicker plate. I'll show you why. We've got a lanyard here. When you're not using the loop on your camera, you just kind of hang it off your neck. Cleaning cloth. All right, so let's take a look at this. We have the QV-1, again, exact same viewfinder that you're going to find with the regular QV-1. The difference is going to be the base plate. Now, if you look at this base plate, it is thin, and the unique thing about the QV-1 is that this base plate is actually designed to fit Manfrotto quick release plates. So it's very similar. It'll mount directly to some Manfrotto tripod heads, directly to, say, a 577, and there's also a base plate, quick release base plate that goes with this. It's optional, but you can get it where it adds 15mm rails. So I'll kind of show a picture of that in a second. But that's the unique thing about this QV-1. It kind of pops up here if you want to use it as a sun hood. It disconnects from the base plate through a magnetic system. So it's very secure, yet very easy to take on and off your camera when you don't need it. So the M plate comes with these two hex keys over here. And now the M plate, you'll notice, is a lot thicker. So I don't know if you could see that, but there's basically a spacer above the original plate. Now that's going to allow you to place this underneath the camera and get better alignment with your LCD. It's taking up that extra gap that was left over from a thinner plate. So this thicker plate is basically a spacer to work with a lot of the mirrorless systems out there, especially like the GH3 or other small Panasonic, Sony NEX cameras, a lot of the point and shoot compacts. So this viewfinder with this thicker plate is going to line up better with some of the smaller camera systems out there. Now, to get this onto the Honu cage here, it's kind of unique. You would actually disassemble the top base plate here. Now, the reason why you couldn't use the original base plate is because they didn't come with a screw that was long enough to make this work. The new base plate actually comes with a screw that's long enough because it takes up this extra space over here. So I'm going to disassemble this, and then we'll show you how it goes on to the Honu cage. So if you can get this spacer separated from this bottom one, you'll end up with a longer screw that runs all the way through the base plate. So what we're going to do on this Honu cage is we're going to take the camera mount off the bottom here. All right, so we took the screw off of the camera mount underneath, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach the base plate directly to the cage. We're going to use a screw that runs through the base plate, runs through the cage, and directly into the camera. So essentially this will be all one piece. All right, so now that we have the base plate attached underneath here, again, we're using one screw that drives through the base plate, through the cage, directly into the camera. And this is a Manfrotto compatible QR plate. So you can, if you have a 577, you can attach this to that. It'll go to most tripod heads. If you don't want to use this plate though, you can still attach another plate directly underneath it. There are some threads under here. So let's say you're using a Giotto's perhaps, you can attach that Giotto's plate directly underneath this plate, so it's just like a normal base plate. And then you would just attach your LCD viewfinder to the back, and then when you're not using it, it's a magnetic system that comes off. And then to center it, you just have some adjustments here that go up and down, left and right. So that's how you would get the new QV-1M attached to the whole new cage. All right, so that is a quick look at the Kamerar QV-1M. It is just announced, and again, the difference with the M series is the plate. The plate is just a little bit thicker than the previous model. This is going to line up better for a lot of the smaller cameras out there. It has always been a problem for years to find a good viewfinder that fits on small mirrorless cameras. This base plate is going to help get this lined up better. Now that is exciting news because, as you know, the GH4 is coming out. It's pretty much the same as the GH3. As far as I know, it will fit perfectly in a cage like this Fusion Honu here. So if you're looking for an LCD viewfinder that will work for the GH4, this new QV-1M should work for that as well. For more information about this stuff, check it out at Cheesycam.com.